Welcome back, viewers. I have with me the captain of the BVI national football team, Mr. Troy Caesar. Welcome to 284 Media once more. As you know, you guys are preparing to face United States Virgin Islands in the first leg of the FIFA World Cup Qualifiers come this Friday in St. Croix. I want you to firstly speak about the camp and how training has been going so far.
First of all, I just want to give God thanks for seeing another day, for blessing me with this next opportunity. For the camp, we kept coming off the last window. We have been performing very well. We took that energy from last window and we brought it into the camp, and everybody came in with a positive mindset. We all know that World Cup qualifiers is one of the biggest competitions where we could perform for the country, and we came here with the mindset to win. The ball is wrong. We're not underestimating anyone, but we came here with the mindset to win, as well as we know that USVI is doing their homework on us, and we are doing the same as well. So we're just trying to prepare and work on what we have in store for Friday, and then we're going to work from there. We're not just going to look at Friday as just that winning, to just win and just relax. We're just taking it one game at a time, and then we move on from there.
And as you said, you guys would have came off a really good momentum in the previous tournament. I know obviously the United States Virgin Islands would not have been part of the group of playoff teams you guys would have played initially, but you played some strong teams in the previous competition, and BVI came out relatively good in terms of the overall performance. How does that momentum shift to this FIFA World Cup qualifier that you guys have starting on Friday?
Yeah, coming off of those games, especially coming off from playing Dominica and Turks and Caicos, where they are very well-rounded players, we were confident going into the game. We came out short. We had one, as our coach tell us so many times, that we had that 1 foot in to create history. So we were trying to make history this time and come around with the victory, and then just keep going forward from there. Some of the youngsters from the U20 team coming off from the couple games in Nicaragua, they got filtered into the team. So we are trying to see what we could do and to improve from they coming in, and then we're going to just keep going forward from there.
And I know the United States Virgin Islands are just next door. For some, they may take that as that's just we accustomed to those guys. I may take it for granted. I may underestimate USVI. What's the environment like in terms of the dressing room when it comes to this game on Friday?
For this game on Friday, for us, our mentality, this is one of the biggest games of our lives. Not because it's the US Virgin Islands. We came into this game because we need this game to perform and to go forward to be able to play against the bigger teams. So for us to be able to play against the bigger teams, we have to win this game. We have to perform in this game for us to move on to the next level. So we're not going to underestimate USVI. We're just going to, as we went into Turks and Caicos game with that confidence, we are trying to go into that game on Friday with confidence, with positivity. As I say, we could come out short, but we just going in there with that positivity to win that game, so we could come out successful on Friday.
And I know you spoke about, obviously getting over the hurdle, the United States Virgin Islands. It is a Virgin Islands derby. Do you think that the USVI will be coming from the perspective of potentially underestimating the BVI team?
As I say, no team in this world would be able to underestimate, because the ball is wrong. In the 90 minutes, we could score early in the game, and something could change in the last minute of the game. You never know what's going to happen in the game. So we're not going to underestimate them, and I know they're not going to underestimate us as well, because they're doing their homework from the last window. They see that we are progressing. We are seeing the performance from a couple of the guys, and we are also doing our homework as well. And as our coach said, they're trying to find out our weaknesses as we are trying to find out theirs, and then we're just going to exploit what we learn. And I know they're going to do the same as well. So it's going to be a good, intense match, because for both of us is a game that we must win for us to move forward to see who's going to be playing the bigger teams.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Troy. When we return, we'll speak to Luca Chilwell, as well as some of the other players and the coach of the national BVI senior football team.
Angie, how can I get my claims paid quick? Rent's due next week.
CG processes 99% of claims within 5 days. Remember when I was hang gliding with those goats? I caught a gust of wind and flew right into a moving car. Every appendage was in the cast, and they paid fast and fairly. That's what I get for trusting a man with a mustache and an eye patch. Now I gotta go. I'm meeting the guy who bedazzled my toes.
99% of claims are processed within 5 days. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy. Welcome back, viewers. I have with me Mr. Luca Chawel. He's here, obviously ready ahead of the USVI BVI clash this Friday. Luca, you're fresh back in the territory. How has training been like gelling back with the guys?
Yeah, afternoon. Yeah, training's been very good. The lads are gelling together very well. We feel very confident going into these games. We obviously know USVI holds a threat up front. They're very fast and behind, so we're just preparing for that, and yeah, training's been going very well.
I was speaking of, as it relates to, in the previous CONCACAF Nations League, you were one of these goal scorers for the BVI. I believe you had 3 in the tournament in total. How does that carry into this derby clash on Friday as it pertains to the World Cup qualifiers?
Yeah, obviously I want to carry my form into these games coming up. I want to keep scoring goals and helping the team win games and progress into the World Cup qualifiers. That's the most important thing, and winning this game against USVI.
And how are you feeling going into this particular match? Because we do know, you're one of the few players here in the territory that are playing at the professional level, bringing back that wealth of knowledge back into the team. And as I was told, the team is also having that mixture of the youth from the previous match we would have had in Nicaragua, the competition that just ended. How are you feeling going into this tournament personally, as it pertains to you as the player and potentially you as the game changer for the BVI?
Yeah, I feel very good coming into these games. I feel fit, and I just want to help the team as much as possible, to be honest. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
And I know previously you would have had a little nickel here and there in terms of little, slight bruises or whatever the case is as it pertains to injury list. How are you feeling now? You're back 100% ready and ready to go?
Yeah, 100% ready. I'm ready. Yep, I got full 90 in me coming up in these games. I'm ready to go.
Okay. And does this put any additional pressure? Being that person that the team would heavily rely on to be that game changer and to score the winning goals. Does that put any additional pressure on you? And speaking of how basically being that pro player now has molded you now into taking the responsibility and wearing it with pride and basically executing as well.
I feel, obviously there's always pressure on me. I know that I'm a professional footballer. A lot of youth players look up to me, so that's another additional pressure, but I feel like I handle that pressure well. I let my feet do the talking, really, and what I do on the field is how I show.
So I guess come Friday we can expect positive results from you?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Luca. When we return, we'll speak to Coach Chris as well as Mr. Tyler Forbes, just to get more information and a well-rounded preview as it pertains to the BVI versus USVI Derby this Friday in St. Croix. Well, welcome back, viewers. I'm here with national player Tyler Forbes, striker for the BVI team, and welcome to 284 Media. First and foremost, we do know that the topic right now is USVI versus BVI come this Friday. What's the thoughts like ahead of this match from your perspective?
From my perspective, I feel like it's a very good challenge for us. Unlike the other games where we always come in as the underdogs, we're seen as this could be quite an even match for us. But we never take any game, lightly. So every game for us is going to be a challenge, and every game we play as hard as we can. But personally, I'm happy with the team. I'm happy with the work they put in during the week. I feel like we could get a good result coming Friday.
And as a striker, one of your main responsibilities is getting the ball beyond the line, netting goals. How are you feeling ahead of the match as it pertains to your ability to get the BVI over that line?
Personally, I feel good. I had a big injury towards the end of the last game against Dominica. I was out for a couple of months, but I managed to work myself back into being able to be fit, to be able to be here to, second lead the team to Troy. And I'm excited because this is, a big stage for all of us, and it means so much to everybody, including myself. So on a personal note, I feel good, and I can't wait.
You spoke about that injury. Obviously you were a big loss in that Dominica game as well. You had the injury before the game, but you still played through the injury. How was it like working through the process, the rehabilitation process of getting back to where you are now?
It was very tedious, is the word that I use when everyone asks. The first stage of rehab was really, really slow. There was no sort of gym work. There was no running for about a good few weeks. So it was very tedious, very slow. But, I took the time to build and kind of sit back and realize what's more important is getting ready for these games ahead, which is, ultimately the end goal in life is, for me, is how well can I perform for my country. And how can I give back to the people of this country?
And as you do know, it's a double header. The first in St. Croix, the second here in Tortola. I know you mentioned just now in your remarks as it pertains to the USVI team, it's not as much pressure as it would be for the other teams that you guys would have been facing in the past, like Dominica, Turks and Caicos, etc. Do that for you and for the guys. I would have asked Captain Troy a similar question. Do you go into that team to that match on Friday, with the confidence that yes, we can get this done?
Yeah, like I said, for every game that we have played, from the toughest games to the not so tough games, we always go in with the same mentality that we can win. We never go into a game thinking that we can't come out victorious. I feel like that's a big part of what keeps this team together, what keeps this team going. So yeah, going into this game, we might be down on the favourites to win the match or based on previous performances. But the belief inside the camp is that every game that we go into with the preparation is that we can come out victorious on the end.
And I playing USVI on their home soil. Even though the BVI last encounters will be, if you was to weigh the last encounters, the BVI would be in favor as it pertains to this USVI match. But I'm sure that home advantage will give the USVI some sort of boost come Friday.
Yeah, it's the same with us. If we play at home, we get a really big boost from the crowd. But we've been in, as a collective, as a group, we've been in very difficult situations. I know personally, from me, myself, Tosh, Jerry, Troy, we've been over in Martinique playing in front of 6,000 people away, and that's tough. So we have good guys on the team that have good experience, and with that, bringing in the youth, they're just only going to learn more and more and more from these sort of experiences. So I feel like they will have the advantage with the home crowd, but we have that experience backing us to get through the game.
Okay, excellent. So I want to wish you all the best in this Friday's game. Viewers, when we return, we have Coach Chris just to wrap up things to speak about the BVI team ahead of Friday's match. Welcome back, viewers. As promised, I have with me Coach Chris of the BVI National Senior Men's Team. Welcome to 284 Media. As I was saying just now, I would have spoken to a number of the players before. 3 of your players, based on the conversation I would have had with them, the talk says, a level of confidence going in to Friday's game. I want you to speak about that.
Yeah, we have confidence. We've been playing pretty well. We had a good Nations League campaign. Just failed out by 1 point by qualifying. we've got to be confident in what we're trying to do, but it's going to be a very difficult game, and we've got a lot of respect for the US Virgin Islands because we know it will be a difficult game.
Okay. And in terms of, the training, I know some of the team members would have had to return from overseas, but I know there's still a large contingent of locals who are here on the ground that are part of the team as well. Speak about the composition of the team.
Yeah, listen, we have obviously BVI players playing abroad, but, the BVI national team's got to be represented by the BVI local players, the majority of them, and that's what we want to try and do. So the players and the supporters can both connect. We've come together. We haven't had a lot of time together, but we're looking forward to obviously the two games, especially the home game here in Tortola, where hopefully we can get the victory.
How important is this upcoming game as it pertains to the World Cup FIFA qualifiers?
Well, it's massive. Whoever goes through gets the opportunity to play against Jamaica, Guatemala, Dominica, and Dominican Republic. All teams that are above us in FIFA rankings, but it'd be a good opportunity. But it'd be good for the supporters to be able to see those teams maybe come here, or the players go there and play away in these stadiums against these good players.
And at the end of Friday's game, obviously the hope or the aim would be to come out victorious. How important is it to ensure that the home leg of this doubleheader, or as people call it, the derby, the Virgin Islands derby, how important is it to ensure that at the home leg level we're in a position of quote-unquote dominance to ensure that we could bring it home come next week in terms of the second match of this doubleheader? Really important.
Yeah, it's really important because going away, we don't want to be losing the deficit to be too much, so we need to keep it tight, give ourselves a good opportunity to bring them home, and we're playing really well at home against the previous teams that have come here. So yeah, it's really important that we still have a chance to win the game when we bring them back to Tortola.
And just finally, I know there were conversations as it pertains to including some of the young players that recently completed the tournament in Nicaragua as part of this team. How have you found those new guys to be so far gelling with the senior guys?
No, those players that were over in Nicaragua have been part of this team anyway. Jahari Lacey, Arzani Corwood, Jaden Abrams. So they've been, those guys have already been elevated and pushed up into the men's national team. But we've got Adrian Padella now coming in there, and that's what we want to try to do, get the continuity and get the conveyor belt of these young players, getting the experience in these games with the under-20s, and then being able to come into the men's national team and make a difference.
So there are plans to ensure that these players are utilised as well too?
That's always been the case since I've been here. I've always been looking at elevating the youth, and if you've seen, I think I've given maybe 6 or 7 younger players their debuts with the men's national team. But it's important that they are drip fed into the team, so it's not too much of a big jump for them.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Coach, and all the best on Friday, and also the following week when we play the USVI here in our territory as well.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Our viewers would have heard it from Coach Chris of the BVI national team, the men's senior football team. I hope you enjoy the content. Until next time, bye-bye.